Section 32 is going to introduce us to a man named Parley P. Pratt, who becomes one of the greatest missionaries and apostles in this dispensation. As a matter of fact, a book has recently come out by scholars and historians Terrell Givens and Matt Groh, where they call Parley P. Pratt the Apostle Paul of Mormonism. Well, what brings Parley P. Pratt into the church? There's a picture of Parley right there. I want to give you a little backstory because when Section 32 comes about, this is when Parley P. Pratt first meets Joseph Smith. Here's a video clip from an older church movie called How Rare a Possession that tells the story of Parley P. Pratt's conversion. It's an awesome story. This clip will just be a few short minutes long, but Parley P. Pratt was a preacher and was preaching in the area, felt moved by the Spirit to get off a boat and preach in this area. While he's there, he meets a man who introduces him to the Book of Mormon. And in Parley P. Pratt's own words, this is what happened.
Last week, I came across a book, a strange book, published down in Palmyra, said to have been originally written on plates of brass or gold by a branch of the tribes of Israel, and discovered and translated by a young man by the aid of heaven. There's even been talk of the ministry of angels.
This book, do you have one?
Loaned it to my sister. She'll be returning it in the morning, though, if you care to stop by.
I will, if it's agreeable. I felt a strange interest in that book. The next morning, I called at his house, where for the first time my eyes beheld the Book of Mormon. That book of books.
The door's open. It's there on the table. Help yourself.
I opened it with eagerness and read its title page. I then read the testimony of several witnesses in relation to the manner of its being found and translated. I commenced its contents by course. I read all day.
Care for some supper, Mr. Pratt?
Eating was a burden. I had no desire for food. Sleep was a burden when the night came, for I preferred reading to sleep. As I read, the Spirit of the Lord was upon me, and I knew and comprehended that the book was true, as plainly and manifestly as a man comprehends and knows that he exists.
Do you know what's in this book?
Haven't been able to hold on to it long enough to find out.
I don't know how to thank you.
My joy was now full, and I rejoiced sufficiently to more than pay me for all the sorrows, sacrifices, and toils of my life.
I'm on my way to Palmyra.
After that experience, Parley P. Pratt gets baptized, travels to Palmyra, meets the Smith family, and ends up going to Fayette, New York in September of 1830, which is where he is there after the September conference, and he meets Joseph Smith for the first time. At that September conference in 1830, Parley P. Pratt is going to be called as one of the 4 missionaries who go on the Lamanite mission with Oliver Cowdery and Peter Whitmer, and Parley P. Pratt with his companion, Ziba Peterson. So Section 32 is going to be that call to Parley to go on this Lamanite mission as a brand new member of the church. They're going to depart, according to Parley's journal, in October of that same month that this mission call comes. That's an introduction of Parley P. Pratt in the context of this mission call that he receives in Section 32 of the Doctrine and Covenants.